Hey friends, welcome back to The Real Deal. This is Suzanne and Sarah's real estate investing podcast, and I'm Sarah.
I'm Suzanne.
Yeah, if you don't know us already, which you should if you're listening to this, we are investor-minded real estate agents here in Central Oregon, and our network goes far beyond where we are. This show is our effort to break down what's actually happening in the market where we are and what we're seeing in real deals. That's why we call it The Real Deal, because we're the real deal. This is also how thoughtful investors make smart long-term decisions, and we're here to help guide you through it and teach you a thing or two along the way. We record a few of these every month, and we also do investor meetups in person and online here in Central Oregon. And today we're going to lead up to our upcoming meetup happening in a couple weeks. And I'm going to let Suzanne take it away from here.
Yes. Our event, just so you have it on your calendars, is June 25th, which is a Thursday. It's from noon to 1 p.m. Pacific time. And for this month, it's going to be online only, so we won't have an in-person option for y'all. But join us online, and we are going to be talking to Amanda Holbrook of Specialized Trust Company. And what does she do? She is the self-directed IRA guru. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that is totally okay. That's why we're here, to give you a little teaser so that you know a little bit about it and can come to that meeting with your questions, because this is, I would say, like an intermediate to advanced topic for investors. And we feel like it's really timely because a lot of people are looking for other sources for down payment funds, or they want to put funds to work as private lenders, but maybe there's not a bunch of money sitting in their bank accounts. But when you go and check your IRA balance right now, at least for me, it's been looking pretty good. I've been feeling good about my retirement account, and I'm sure many of you do too. It's like you see those numbers and you're like, dang, can I use some of that? The answer to that question is yes. And here is how you do it with a self-directed IRA, a self-directed 401k. That is what Amanda is going to be talking to us about. The reason we want to bring this up now is it's mid-year. We know a lot of you people out there in our network and beyond have goals of getting a property or two under your belt, or trying your hand at private money lending. And that is why setting up a self-directed IRA is the perfect time. We're mid-year here, and it's a good way for you to access some of that cash that seems to be growing these days and put it to work for you outside of the traditional stock market, and to be able to access it and control it before you retire. That's the key part to the whole self-directed IRA, is self-directing, telling it where to go instead of letting it sit in a target date retirement fund. Like, how boring is that? I know they're supposed to work, and I'm sure they do, but this is way more exciting. So that's why we're going to be talking to you about it. And yeah, we have actually helped a client within the last year buy a property in Bend using her self-directed IRA. So Sarah, you want to talk a little bit about that experience with that buyer?
Yeah, it was not conventional. Let's just say that. The first thing to say is that it's really hard to find a lender that has this product. They're few and far between. So I'm really excited to be working with someone who is going to have more options for us. They take longer to fund. They are higher interest rate, but I think in this experience that they required less down, and it got the job done for what she was trying to do. I think she had very little to no money down out of her own pocket and her own savings. And I think that was really the big appeal until she got her property up and running and rents optimized for her particular goals for that property, so she could eventually refinance it into a DSCR or investment property loan down the line, which I think ultimately she's going to have to refi and keep more equity in her property, but have a lower interest rate in the end. So a good tool, I think definitely a good tool in particular situations, whether short-term, long-term, depends on your own goals and the property itself.
Yes. So what Amanda will talk about is the basics of what these are, these self-directed accounts. There's an IRA, there's also a standard IRA. So she'll be focusing on self-directed. Then there's different things within that, like there's 401ks, IRAs, Roth IRAs, and figuring out for you, for your tax situation and for your goals, which one is right for you. And we are not the experts here, so we're not going to give you a bunch of tips because we haven't done this ourselves, but it's definitely one of the things on our list to explore. And that's why we bring these speakers every month, is we learn something new every single time. And we're really excited to hear from Amanda because it really helps people access cash that they don't think is available to them until they're 59 and a half or 65 or whatever people think of for retirement. So let's see, what else? She also is just really experienced. Amanda Holbrook, who will be speaking, is really experienced in all things around this. So she's got a lot of great resources for finding those specific lenders that a self-directed IRA requires, and for helping you structure it properly with your entities. If you're getting LLCs or you're putting things in a trust. We get a lot of questions. We get these little random questions from some of our buyers and sellers here and there. So we're really excited to hear from Amanda because she is the expert not only in the self-directed IRA, but in creating a really cohesive ecosystem. So we have people that reach out to us about, oh, do I need to put my property into an LLC or a trust? And all these kind of little one-off questions that we get. And Amanda knows how to bring it all together with the self-directed IRA, 401k, whatever it is, and structuring it properly to protect your interest, to help you access that capital earlier than you probably thought you could, and to scale your portfolio. And we were just saying earlier, we do think this is a more intermediate to advanced strategy, and maybe we're wrong. We'll see. Maybe Amanda thinks that this should be the first place you go for funding your first investment property. But for Sarah and I, our current take, and we'll let you know if we change our mind after the 25th, is get one under your belt first, either by saving your down payment the kind of traditional way, or using creative financing, whether it's seller financing or sub-2 or some combination thereof. And do that first, and then start tapping into some of these other resources that you have available with your 401k and your IRA. So that'll be a question that we will definitely have for Amanda, is if she thinks this is something for your beginning investor just getting ready to go, or if maybe you should just hold off and get a deal under your belt. But I really do see this. So many of us have these accounts that are just sitting, right? We don't touch them because we can't without penalty. We think we can't, but with the self-directed IRA, like, people may have 6+ figures available to them, available to you to access, that you didn't think you were going to be able to touch for a few decades. So that is the really exciting part about all of this, that we're looking forward to hearing more from Amanda on how powerful this is for scaling your portfolio and giving yourself another avenue for retirement. And maybe it's sooner than you think.
Yeah, we love borrowing from ourselves. So as opposed to other people, right? As opposed to bigger banks. Yeah. So I'm just excited for Amanda to take this into theory, or from theory into practice, long before we helped our first client with this. Like, it's something we had heard of. We'd heard of non-recourse loans, but obviously we didn't really know many people doing them. So from Amanda, I'm excited for her to not only teach us what you can do with these, but things that you can't do. I'm excited for her to also teach us how to not screw up our taxes by using this, because I'm sure there are ways to do it wrong. And then the other thing I don't think that we've touched on or talked about is also just like possibly using this for private money as well. Like, you don't necessarily have to employ it in actual tangible real estate. Maybe you can lend this money out. And so we'll get to hear about that as well. If you know us and you've been following us for a little while, you'll also know that we love squeezing the juice out of those W-2 jobs. And this is just one more way to do that. So obviously you can have IRAs as self-employed individuals. That takes a lot of discipline to save that money. So while you are working for the man and working for that freedom, why not use that retirement account to help you get there?
Exactly. And there's so many people out there that have these random 401ks just sitting in the original plan that their employer gave them. And it's easy to forget about that money. So that's the other thing too, right? Is start going back through your records and the random statements that show up every quarter, once a year, that you're like, oh yeah, I guess I do have a little bit of money left over there. Let's tap that and use it to your advantage to buy real estate or do private money lending as well.
For sure. Yeah. If nothing else, just to bring some awareness back to all that money that you've stashed away and get some organization and a plan around it. So
Yes.
that's what we've got for you today, dear friends. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching on the Suzanne and Sarah YouTube channel. Also tuning in to our podcast, The Real Deal. If you're the kind of investor that likes to have fun while you do the work, you're in the right place. We like to help you explore all the tools available to you and not just the obvious ones, like the ones we're talking about today. So if you're interested in this, please join our meetup on June 25th online, noon Pacific time. You'll find that link in our show notes or just send us a message and we'll get it right to you. Keep following us for all the good stuff. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
See you then.
Bye.